Tell you what, starting 5 days of hiking after 2 holiday parties at once makes her a rough start, but gotta keep blazing. Didn't really take into account that I'd have a 5-hour layover in DC on my way to Harpers Ferry. Kind of cool. Well, good morning. Welcome to Harpers Ferry, West Virginia. It's cold. It's about 22 degrees. Getting ready to start another 5 days, 120-ish miles, going north to Duncannon. Practice hike number 2. Fun little fact, there is a train that goes over the Potomac there, and also the boardwalk for the AT goes over that. Unfortunately, a train decided to tip over and take it out, so right now there's no way to get over the river, so that'll be fun to figure out. We'll see what happens. Holy shit, I've never had more trouble getting onto a trail in my life. First of all, I just spent all morning walking around Harpers Ferry. Partly my fault because I had to go to a 7-Eleven to pick up smart water bottles, which I forgot to get in DC. And that was a whole 3-mile round trip. I did stop at the ATC, which they're cool, and talk to them for a little bit. But because the trail over the Potomac was taken out by a train, there's all these shuttles options you have to call and whatnot, and I was like, nah, screw this, I'm just gonna Uber. So I get the Uber and I get dropped off, but of course it's about a half mile up from where the trail is. I have to walk down it's just a really busy road, and then I get to the bridge and there's just truck traffic and everything, and I gotta go down the bridge, and I fall, I slide down stone, and I get down to underneath the bridge, and and then I have to go over train tracks. It's not a big deal, but down the embankment on the other side, slipped and slid down those rocks. And then, of course, because this part of the AT is an old canal path, there's like a whole like swamps of Dagobah that I gotta somehow navigate over. So I got over that, but I'm finally on trail. Now the real hiking can begin. Alright. 120 miles to Duncannon. Love it. Oh, double-decker shelter. How about that? Wow, that's a view. Holy shit. Alright, even the privy has a view. Fuck yeah. Holy shit. Man. Being stuck in here in a nasty storm? That'd be sweet. I'm gonna eat some more cheese because there's no such thing as too much cheese, right? All right. So I'm really excited about this. Since I'm doing this hike over Christmas, I got some Christmas lights that I can put up in the shelter and a bottle of whiskey. But Christmas lights in the shelter and it changes color. That's festive, right? Merry Christmas, ho, ho, ho. Well, of course we do. Holy Rocksylvania in Maryland. I thought I didn't have this shit up here. Huh, it's just a meat grinder for the feet again. Some really nice views up on the ridge. Grinded my feet though. Merry Christmas. Oh, I had a terrible night last night. I just kicked myself for my poor decision making. So, my original plan was to hike 25-ish miles yesterday and make it to Quarry Gap Shelter, which is supposed to be pretty neat. I got down to this road. It was about 3 miles away and from the shelter. But I also noticed on the gut hook that it was about 1.5 miles into this, well, not really a town, but there was a motel that was 2.5 miles away. It was Christmas, and you know, I felt like I could use a shower. It's not like I've only been on the trail for 3 days, so it's not a big of a deal. But it'd be nice to sleep in a bed. And I was like, let's go for it. So I walked there. I got there. I had to, of course, it's the first sign that it was a poor choice was on their sign that they have weekly rates available. Never a good thing to see. I go up to the lady at the front desk, and she's got a beard. Also, not a good sign. I get my room anyways. I go in. It is a fucking shithole. Like, I've never stayed in a place that's been dirtier than that. Even the dirtiest shelters I've been to, at least I can sweep it out with a broom. I mean, this is all my fault. I should have looked at people's notes on Gut Hook, and when I did, it was just terrible. Except for one reviewer who was like, "Man, I've stayed in worse places." Like, what? I mean, I don't even think you could stay in a place this bad in a privy. Like, I'm just glad. I just hope I get out of there without any, being murdered, getting pricked by a needle, getting bed bugs. But, I got my shower. I pulled all the blankets off the bed. I slept on my sleeping pad with my quilt. I slept well. But man, I got up this morning, 6 a.m. I was like, okay, I get the fuck out of here. But lesson learned. Read the notes on Gut Hook. Trust your instincts. Should not have done that. I was surprised too. On the PNT, I stayed in a couple different hotels, whatever. And there were some that, just by looking at them, they had no reason to be nice at all. But then I'd go into them, and have nice large beds, super comfortable pillows, everything's clean, maybe sometimes a little bit odd. But nothing dirty, nothing skeevy. I was always comfortable. This is the first motel that I've stayed in that I legitimately did not feel comfortable in. And that's saying something if somebody goes out and hikes for weeks in the woods alone. Well, lesson learned. Don't stay at the Scottish Inn and Suites motel by Quarry Gap Shelter. You've been warned. Well, here I sit at Pine Grove Furnace State Park. It's about 5 o'clock. It's a little bit before that. Definitely not done for the day. Don't want to be. The next shelter is 6.8 miles. I've already put in 19. I'm going to go for it. It'll take me 2.5 hours. Get there about 7:30. I just don't feel like setting up my tent. It's kind of lonely out here. Gotta rest my feet, eat a meat stick, eat a Pop-Tart, eat some cheese crackers. Yeah. Gonna be some fun night hiking. hiked out of those mountains. I think it's South Mountain, something like that. Down to the valley, back up through here. Some pretty awesome views. I was originally gonna have my outro for my second practice hike take place at a Hawk overlooking Duncannon, but there were a whole bunch of people up there, and I don't want to be that guy, so it's gonna be a fairly anticlimactic outro. But the next time y'all see my ugly mug, it's gonna be the beginning of the greatest adventure of my life. Oh yeah, I'm so ready. Until then, keep on blazing.